It's Goodnight America, starring Mark DeCarlo. Tonight, a very special episode. Mark lathers, rinses, and repeats with actress, comedian Mary Gross. Medical maverick Dr. Herb Yazmajian. Children's author George McNamara, and tonight's band, Wuditiz. And now, say goodnight to Mark DeCarlo!
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you and welcome to Goodnight America, folks. All right. That's enough. Folks, how about it for what it is? Now, Gus, am I pronouncing the name of the band right?
What it is, that's right.
So how'd you come up with the name?
Actually, it was Sean, our drummer. He was talking about, he was getting into it with his cousin about what would be a cool license plate. And then they said, yeah, what it is, W-U-D-I-T-I-Z. Yeah. So that rolled around for a little while, and when we put the band together finally, we said, hey, yeah, man, let's take that name.
I like it. It's good. And you know what else is good? Eric Charles Boardman, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a hand. He's here. You know, one of the most fabulous things in summertime is reading. I enjoy reading a good book during the summer. Don't you folks agree? Yeah. We will follow you anywhere, Mark. I'd now like you to meet one of the hottest authors of this summer. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big warm welcome to Mr. George McNamara. Welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Nice to meet you, George. George, how old are you?
6.
6 years old. And I understand that you're an author, right?
Right.
You wrote a book, huh? How many books have you written?
1.
And what's it called?
George and the Pitching Machine.
George and the...
Pitching Machine.
Wow. This is a great little book here. Now, what is George and the Pitching Machine all about?
Well...
You wrote it. You tell me.
Okay. Well, it's about when the coach says we're going to be against this pitching machine, and suddenly, when I get up to it, I just hit the second ball, and maybe I might have hit a home run into space.
Into space? That's great. You like baseball?
Yeah.
Would you like to be a baseball player when you grow up?
Yes.
Doesn't every little boy want to be? I wanted to be a baseball player.
I do.
Yeah?
Yes.
What's your favorite team?
Blue Jays. Or it could be the Padres or the Pirates or the Boston Red Sox.
So you're a very loyal fan, aren't you, George? What do all your friends think about the fact that you're a published author now? Do they think that's cool?
I'm not published author, I'm just the author.
Well, you're a published author too, because this book is published.
No, I published it.
Oh, well, but it's still published. That's
No, I tricked you. It's not Mom, it's someone else. And I'm gonna trick.
I'm completely tricked, George. So you're... Let's just jump on the chairs. Come on. Come on. Get up there. Get up there.
Hey! Excuse me. But there's something in your jacket.
What was that?
There's something in your jacket.
Where?
Escape.
Oh, man. George, do you have some jokes you want to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Tell me a joke.
The prisoner escaped from jail, and he went past this little boy named Jimmy, and he's, hooray, I'm free, I'm free. And little Jimmy said, so what, I'm 4.
That's a good one. So now, have you been on other television shows promoting your book?
There's only one that's called KPBS.
And did you like being on TV?
Yeah!
Yeah? You think?
Yeah! I said yeah!
I heard you. Who's this guy in the back of the book here?
Tony Gwynn.
And who is he? What does he do for a living?
He's a Padre!
Ah, that's one of your cast of favorite teams, isn't it?
Excuse me. Did you see the S right here?
Uh-huh.
Well, it's Padre!
Gotcha. You want to tell me one more joke?
Yeah.
Okay, make it a good one.
What did the tomato say to the other tomato?
What did the tomato say to the other tomato? I have no idea.
You go ahead, I'll catch it.
Hey! You got a rim shot there. Now, George, obviously you're getting quite a charge out of being an author. What advice would you give other little kids who want to become authors and write books?
Please stop.
You have no advice for other kids?
Yes!
And what would that advice be?
Well, you should just do it!
You working for the Nike people, George?
No!
Okay. Shall we move on and continue with the show? You know
I don't know.
You know who we're going to bring out now? Mary Gross. You like her?
It's way past my bedtime.
It is pretty late. You tired? You want to go home?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for being on the show, George. Everyone, give it up for George McNamara. Now, see, why can't you have that kind of spunk, Eric?
Well, I dress like George.
You do.
Hey, that was just like Gore Vidal on Nightline. Same kind of interview. He would squirm and drive Ted Koppel crazy, too.
Well, I was hitting him the hard questions, too.
Sure you
This
were.
is not a softball interview. I'm a hard-hitting journalist.
That's why we love you.
Folks, my next guest is a very familiar face. You've seen her on Saturday Night Live. You've seen her in movies such as Troop Beverly Hills, Feds, and Casual Sex. Please welcome to Goodnight America, Miss Mary Gross. Welcome.
Thank you. I don't think I can match the last guest's joie de vivre, but I'll do my best.
Now, man, what? Boy, the minute I said your name,
He wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
there's no bad blood between you and George,
no,
is there?
No. Well, actually, I was attracted to the child within him. No, he's a lovely boy. And we go way back. Well, not further than 5 years, but a little bit. Anyway, so.
So what's been going on with you? Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back 5 years. You were doing SNL then, huh?
Was that 5 years ago or further back? Well, yes, I was doing SNL.
Did you like that? Is that a fun gig?
Fun is not always the first word that comes to mind, but it was educational.
Uh-huh.
I met lots of lovely musicians and hosts, and it was graduate school in comedy, I think.
What was it like working with all the guys on the set?
The guys?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, you know, I think especially, I started at Second City before I was at Saturday Night Live, and I think what I learned at Second City was to be comfortable around raucous men in my underwear, because we were, you know, backstage. There wasn't a lot of room to change, and it was like having a lot of brothers around.
Uh-huh.
Very bad bullying brothers, but
But at least you're comfortable around them,
I am,
and that's a plus.
and I'm comfortable around you, Mark.
Okay. We'll be right back with more of Mary Gross on Goodnight America. Don't go away.
If you or someone you know has herpes, then this is important to watch because the product I'm going to share with you is guaranteed to work. It's called Azurex. There is no cure for herpes, but there is something guaranteed to stop outbreaks, provide soothing relief, and accelerate healing. In this attack pack, there are 5 individual swabs. They are easy to carry and easy to use. Just snap it to activate it. If you feel an outbreak coming on, apply Azurex after that first tingle and immediately feel the relief. So if you're looking for something that's powerful, natural, and really works, then order Azurex now.
Welcome back. We're back with Mary Gross. All right, so we talked about SNL. Did you do a lot of writing on that show?
I did some writing, yes, but it's funny, as soon as they give you a writing credit and you're under pressure to write, then my brain just freezes. But if they leave me alone, I'll come up with lots of stuff.
Now, you're working on a movie now? Or you just finished the movie?
I
What's the deal?
just worked on a movie with Tim Allen called The Santa Claus, and I think it'll be out around Christmas. That would be appropriate.
That would be perfect.
And it was very much fun up in Toronto with Judge Reinhold and Tim Allen.
Man, that is a great city. Did you like Toronto?
I love Toronto. I could live there.
Yeah, I thought to me it was like Chicago. If San Francisco and Chicago had a baby, it would be Toronto.
There you go. I'll go with that.
Did you always want to be an actress?
No, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be Sally on the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Me
I
too.
wanted to be a comedy writer.
Me too.
And that's what led me to my very first improv class, was not the desire to act, but to learn how to write a scene and create a scene.
Mm-hmm.
But since it was an improv class, they didn't ask that we just sit and watch. We were asked to get on stage and perform.
And obviously it went pretty well.
Yes, after I got over the initial shock and shyness, yes.
Now, what do you think it was about your house? Because obviously you're a professional performer. Your brother Michael from Family
Yes,
Ties, professional
yes.
performer. Something in the water?
A desperate need for attention.
Really?
I don't know what it is. I think my mother was a frustrated entertainer. Had circumstances in her life been different, she would have loved to have been a dancer or a comedian, something like that.
You and Michael ever worked together on something?
We were both in a movie, but we never saw each other on the set. It was called Big Business, but we were there on different days in different parts. So as close as we got was our names in the credits, I think.
Alphabetical, so you're right
That's
next to each other?
There you go.
Oh, enough of the Hollywood business. Let's talk about your personal life. Socializing, stuff like that.
Yes, I'm familiar with socializing, okay.
Are you married?
No,
Ever been?
no.
Got a boyfriend?
Perhaps.
Yes. Depending on what time the show goes on?
We're in the very early stages right now.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh boy, this is embarrassing. Okay.
Have you kissed him yet? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then you're well on the way. So there will be some socializing in your future this summer.
Hopefully, yes.
What do you like to do during the summer? Barbecue, softball?
I like to attend barbecues.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. You know, the entire country is being gripped by soccer fever, by football fever, World Cup fever. Have you been afflicted with that yet?
The fever hasn't hit me yet.
Really?
No. No.
Would you like to be inoculated right now?
I'm breaking out in a small sweat. Maybe the fever's coming on as we speak.
Either that or your flesh is being eaten by that streptococcus A thing.
The bacteria. Yeah.
But you look okay to me. I thought what we could do is we could learn a little bit about football, and which is what the rest of the world calls soccer, together. Would you like that?
I would love that.
All right, well, I thought what we'd do is we'd give you a little soccer quiz and see what your SQ is.
Excellent.
Of course, SQ being...
My soccer quotient?
That's exactly right.
Indeed.
Question number 1. How many colors are on a typical soccer ball?
Wow. 2?
That's correct. And they are?
Well, black and white?
Exactly, the same 2 colors on a printed page. Coincidence? I don't think so. Question number 2. How many soccer players are on a field at a given time?
I happen to know that.
Which is?
11. Oh, no, 22. Or more or less, depending on...
More or less, that's correct! Question number 3.
Yes.
What is a corner kick?
A kick that comes from the corner.
Yes!
Yes!
And you said you didn't know anything about soccer. Now, we have here a diagram of the Romanian soccer team.
Oh, yes, I recognize
Yeah.
them.
That's all the hair on their back because they're Romanian. Could you show us how to run this play to guarantee a score every time?
Well, first of all, you got to get the ball somewhere in there, right?
Right, into the crypt goalkeeper place.
That's right. And who would do that? There's probably a man who that's his very special job. Maybe him?
That is him.
Is it?
And his name would be?
Pele.
That's correct! We're going to be back with more of this show and Dr. Herb Yazmajian. Don't go away. As you know, here on the show, we're always trying to be in touch with current events, things that are in the news. You know, we did the whole World Cup thing. This caught my eye in the paper last week. Dr. Sick strikes again. Turns out that our next guest has been in the news recently due to some legal troubles he's having back in his hometown of Pittsburgh. And he's been compared to Dr. Kevorkian, perhaps unfairly. And he's here tonight to help explain his side of the story and perhaps clear his name. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Herb Yazmajian. Thanks very much for coming out. And I read this article. You seem to be on the media hot seat here.
Yes, well, it's been rather difficult the past couple of months.
What can you explain in kind of a truncated form the essence of the controversy?
Well, I'm frankly surprised that there is a controversy. I took an oath, Hippocratic oath, when I became a doctor, and I have attempted to serve my patients since I took that oath. And in the process of serving my patients, I've been slapped with lawsuits, and it's frankly a mystery to me why this has occurred.
Now, what are the lawsuits about?
Well, I've endeavored to provide people with what I consider a God-given right to be slightly ill with dignity. Laugh if you must.
So, in your practice, you actually help people get sick? I'm kind of confused.
Well, Mark, there are certain situations in life that we do not want to participate in. I think you'll agree, jury duty, having a tax audit or dinner with an in-law. There are certain situations that we find repulsive enough to try anything to avoid, and I provide people with an illness, an actual illness.
So instead of just lying to your in-laws that you're sick, you actually make people sick so they don't have to go out to dinner?
Yes, most of my patients or clients are, well, they're honorable people. They do not lie, and I am
Isn't it
true to my
easier just to lie? And
Well, sometimes it's rather difficult to lie if they require a note from a doctor, such as getting out of a Super Saver flight certificate. If something comes up, a doctor's note is required, and I provide them with
an actual illness.
An actual illness.
So someone comes to you.
Let's take a typical scenario
yeah,
of a youngster
please.
in school who doesn't want to go to school that day because of some test, or some bully at school who wants to beat the living daylights out of him.
Sure.
And he decides to have a fever to get out of this. That, of course, means the old hot towel on the forehead. Now, as a doctor, I really don't want to see another youngster come down with an overheated cranium. So we provide him with a simple dose of, well, anything from, well, mild doses of just about any disease that can take him out of order for 24 to 36 hours.
So it's kind of a safe, controlled way of being sick.
It is a safe, controlled way to become slightly ill with dignity, as we say.
Uh-huh. Anyone famous ever use your service?
You know, privacy is a hallmark of my practice for obvious reasons. People knew that this was part of their excuse, then they'd be in a lot more hot water than apparently I am. But I can say, since he's no longer functioning in the office, well, just two words, Bush, Japan.
That was you? Wow.
Well, of course, it was a stronger reaction than we had prescribed, but the former president really isn't one to read labels very closely, and especially the use as directed labels on some of my ingredients. He overlooked and had a more violent
Went a little
reaction.
too far.
I would say so, yes. That was a very close call for us.
So how did you come up with this idea? Do you have a special method or a way that you Is there anyone?
I have the sick machine with me if you'd like to see it.
Is there anyone here in the audience tonight that, because this is kind of a, I mean nothing by it, but it's kind of a goofy idea. Is there anyone here that needs to be sick for something coming up in the next couple of days, and you want to try out this? Anybody?
Mark?
She has a big test.
Eric?
Well, I'm sure people in the audience may have something more important, but my family wants to go see Barney on Ice again, and there's no way I'll sit through that a second time. Doctor, can you help me?
I'd be happy to help you, young man.
I didn't make an appointment, doctor, so I...
Well, that's quite all right. Now, I must ask you a few questions while I set this
Now, what
up.
is exactly this thing that you're hooking up here?
Well, it's a basic atomizer that we. Do you have any allergies, Eric?
No.
Any heart problems?
No.
No. Do you have any phobias of?
No.
Oops.
Not that you want to talk about on TV anyway.
Yeah. That's all right.
There's no reason to be
This is
sanitary, huh, Doctor?
Simple. I've washed my hands. All right. That's.
Because I don't want to get sick.
This is a simple extract of linoleum from a second grade elementary school floor. It should render you slightly nauseous,
Oh, good.
and you might feel somewhat constipated and have a fever.
It beats Barney, let me tell you that.
This, now, I might caution you, this will have an immediate effect once I press on the
I just
atomizer.